A mouth-killing pepperoni.
Pizza the Hutt.
Those people should be hung.
That's deep dish.
Whoa, nice one. Super tasty.
It's like if Dave and Buster's had like a meth head cousin.
Being really disappointed by a slice of pizza.
You cry in the shower after you eat it.
Pizza is good. Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, located deep in an underground bunker on the island of Valverde. This is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies of indigestion from eating too much pizza. I'm your host, the Wolverine, along with my super friends, Jarhigo.
Yeah.
And C-Lab forever.
Howdy.
That's right, folks. Welcome to the podcast. This week, we're going to be switching it up and doing something a little bit different. We chose what we call a wild card topic for this week. So we're going to be talking about pizza. Yes, pizza. Not a movie about pizza, not pizza commercials, not a show about pizza. Pizza.
Are there movies about pizza?
Maybe. Mystic Pizza?
Pizza the Hutt.
I was just going to ask you guys what you think about the pizza in Valverde. Not so good. I think that's why we're doing the episode, right? Because we actually miss pizza.
It's more of a rice and beans kind of spot.
Kind of like street corn as well. So there's really no Chinese takeout. There's certainly no good Italian food, no pizza to speak of.
To be fair, Valverde's probably got better pizza than Australia.
Probably.
Also.
You would know best. I mean,
but the secret bunker's sweet.
Yeah, it's super sweet. It's even got a ping pong table.
So what's your high level on pizza, dudes?
Pizza is good.
You sound like Owen Wilson from Tenenbaums. Wildcat. Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Pizza is really...
Pizza was written with a bit of an obsolete vernacular.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy pizza. I have my entire life. It is an interesting food, kind of like a pie. But, I mean, we call them pies often, but it's not like a traditional pie, like a cherry pie or a shepherd's pie. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting in its like literal physical makeup.
That's really high level, bro. I like it.
Wow, this is a little harder than I thought.
I was thinking like high level, like, yeah, I really like New York style pizza, but you're like orbiting the fucking Earth, looking down on us from the International Space Station, making space pizza.
I think there should be a bed of like funk music going on below.
Yeah,
what Kevin's talking about.
How about
Wow, wow, wow.
No, more Bounce to the Ounce by Zapp.
Ooh, good song.
Okay.
Backwards, so we don't get fucked with copyright.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's yeah, exactly. And we'll have a satanic message in there just to make it right. It's an interesting food, delicious. I've grown up my whole life eating, I guess, New York style pizza and New Haven style pizza, and I've had terrible pizza and I've had excellent pizza. It's everywhere. It's so huge. It's so popular. It's so prolific, man. Like the amount of pizza consumed worldwide is insane. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know. I think that sucks now, but whatever. I'm leaving it at that.
The bed of funk music will make it much
They'll
better.
make it so much funkier.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The music will tie it together, Kev. Don't worry.
We'll put a little like reverb on your voice. So it'll be sweet. It'll sound like beat poetry or something.
Pizza. Covered with cheese and pepperoni.
Man, when I said wild card, I didn't mean this fucking wild. I love it.
Hey, man. Sometimes it gets wild.
This is what it is. All right. Somebody else go, since I'm like, I just got bloody going through the wall.
I think pizza is like the food I loved when I was a kid that I never got over. Like, I still really like it, whereas I'll pass on the chicken fingers. And I like grilled cheese, but, It's got to be like some serious grilled cheese. Me, I'll eat any kind of pizza still.
It's a lot to think about there, man. That's deep. No pun intended. That's deep dish.
Whoa, nice one.
Ooh,
Dad joke.
here come the pizza puns.
Here they come. Let's see how far we can take this. Yeah, I think that's a fantastic description of what pizza means to a lot of us. And until you said it, I hadn't thought of it, but it definitely resonates with me. I think for me, it's really just like, it doesn't get more fundamental than a bit of dough with some sauce and cheese on it. Like, it's just like the best combination. It's kind of like how everyone's always like, everything's better with bacon. Like, pizza is just such a simple food that can be taken to like masterful heights if done well. And I think
Nice. I think you finished my thought for me. Like, that's sort of where I was going.
it's, it can be done well and it can be done really piss poor, and it can be done at home with English muffins and in the toaster, and it can be done by people in Naples that have to use specific flours and specific tomatoes and all kinds of crazy regulations and laws.
Regulations.
Oh, like they legit are regulated.
Are there pizza referees?
No, pizza police.
The Neapolitan style pizza actually has laws that regulate what type of flour and tomatoes they're allowed to use. And
whoa,
what? No.
Yeah, no shit. Like 100%.
Wow.
Legit. It's a major governing body.
So have the pizza police ever showed up and busted anybody for like trying to skimp or
I think they're like the vegan police in Scott Pilgrim, kind of.
You know what? I was thinking more like the casino situation in the movie Casino with De Niro. So they like grab you and they pull you into the back and they break your hand. They get out the saw and then De Niro walks in and he's like, "What hand do you make pizza with?"
Oh my God.
And you say your right hand, and he goes, "Break his left hand." And then they bring in your partner, and he goes, "Okay, you can either have the pizza."
Like, you're never making pizza in this town again, scumbag.
You can either have the pizza and the hammer, or you can walk out of here.
They dialed that shit up to 11, bro.
Wow, yeah.
I did. Yeah.
For me, I kind of had a bit of a sheltered upbringing on Nantucket, where, for those that don't know, there's no fast food or chains of any kind. So in order to get any of the normal foods that most people would have grown up with in the States, you had to go to the mainland. So,
You had to get on a boat.
That's it. And so for me, like, maybe the closing thought on high level is New Yorkish style, or maybe like the New York style that kind of propagated throughout New England, you could argue, as kind of a baseline. Ended up in Boston, and my grandfather took me to Pizzeria Regina's after taking me to Fenway when I was 6. So I've got some really strong, fond memories of those types of pizza, and it definitely set in motion a love affair that has had its ups and downs, like every love affair. But being an expat and being so far away from good pizza for so long, it's amazing when I can get it, and part of the reason why I wanted to talk about it today.
I can't believe that there is, a couple of things. I still just can't believe that there's no decent place to get good pizza in Australia, certainly not a big city like the one you're living in.
I mean, there are people that argue that there is great pizza, but I would argue with them about that.
Gotcha. Okay.
The best pizza I've had here is a 6.2, and I've had a lot of pizza here.
What would you compare it to over here?
There's no New York style pizza here, generally speaking. I mean, you've got Pizza Hut, but that doesn't count. Or not Pizza Hut, but Domino's. We have Domino's here, which is basically if someone ate a pizza and then vomited it into a pizza pan and then ran it through a conveyor belt. That's what Domino's pizza is, in my opinion. It's fucking disgusting and shit.
That's the best. That may be the best description of Domino's pizza I've ever heard.
It's literally disgusting, and we'll get to it in a little while, but the Barstool One Bite pizza review stuff inspired me to go onto the app and rate some pizzas, and so I actually got a Domino's for the first time in maybe 20 years, just as to get a baseline, and it actually tasted like fucking vomit. It was the grossest thing I've ever eaten. So
my stomach is hurting just thinking about eating a Domino's pie right now. That's how gross it is.
So, like, it's all Neapolitan style over here, really. Like, the best pizza you can get is more Italian style, and I think a lot of World War II vets settled down here, Italians.
Well, that's what I thought.
But I think there's something to be said for the Americanization of pizza. So, being a Yank and being from New England, I think, like, my affinity is for New York style. And I like Neapolitan style, but Neapolitan style is, in my view, inferior to some of the better New York style pizzas, if that makes sense.
Is inferior to the New York style.
Yeah, I think New York style pizza is the pinnacle of pizza, and the various offshoots of kind of New York style, which may or may not include your Connecticut pizzas because I've never had them. And then you've obviously got, some of the weirder genres like Chicago and California that we can get to when we get to them. But, I've eaten Neapolitan pizza in Naples, Italy, and I've eaten Italian pizza in Italy, and it's good. It's really good. It can actually be really, really, really fucking exceptionally good, but it's still, in my mind, isn't as good as New York style. A good New York slice.
So the New York slice is definitely what you think of when you think of pizza. Like that's the base level for you that all things are compared to.
Yeah, a good New York slice. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. All right. That was a long answer to my little question, but that's fine. That's what I wanted to know. All right. My second question to you is, I was very interested, and you might have covered it already, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I was very interested to hear your take, being from a place that you grew up where you just didn't have access to it all the time.
Right.
But you kind of answered it in saying that the New York style is your favorite, because I'm assuming that's what they have up in Boston, like in the North End.
Yeah, I don't know if it's got its own special flavor, but yeah, I would say it's like from the king of the pedants. I don't want to be pedantic as to say Boston is a different style than New York. I think that's silly. I think it is a very New York inspired style.
Ish. Sure.
But you're right, I did answer it before, and my answer would just be that really, really good slices in places like Boston or New York were like the foundation for me. And Chuck E. Cheese's.
What do they have at Chuck E.? What is Chuck E. Cheese pizza like?
New York style, but not quite as good.
If they made New York style pizza and then they made a mold out of it and then like injection molded rubbery plastic and then stuck it in a display case and then heated that up and served it to you at a birthday party, that's what Chuck E. Cheese's is like.
Sweet. Okay.
But man, it tastes great when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And when I remember going to a Chuck E. when I was a kid, and it was like the ultimate. I was like, my God, these stupid animatronic robots, video games, and pizza. I was like, wow, this is great.
It was the dream as a kid.
Yeah, I've never been to one.
Oh, really?
It's
You've never lived.
Yeah, you've never lived.
It's like if Dave and Buster's had like a meth head cousin.
Meth
I don't imagine it would be something I would enjoy as an adult.
Oh, Jesus, no.
No, God, no. I wouldn't enjoy Chuck E. as an adult.
I'd rather get syphilis.
I do know where there is a Chuck E. though.
Do they still exist?
So I could. Yeah, oh yeah, they still exist.
Oh man, that reminds me. I'm totally hogging the mic on this. I apologize, but
you are.
There was I saw a coronavirus thing where Chuck E. Cheese couldn't open for obvious reasons, and they couldn't sell their pizza takeaway because everybody was like thinking it was disgusting. So they rebranded their pizza with a different name and sold it on like Uber Eats, and they were selling them like hotcakes because they changed the name, which I thought was hilarious.
Wow, that's funny.
Wow, that is an interesting little tidbit right there.
What about you guys? Do you agree about the New York thing or what?
Can I just put a bow on the Chuck E. Cheese thing real quick? Chuck E. Cheese still does exist, and it was invented by the guy that invented Atari.
Really?
He owned both, yes. Wow. And his name is Nolan Bushnell. He invented Atari, and then he started Chuck E. Cheese after he sold Atari or whatever.
That's fucking amazing.
I think so, man. Although, where I grew up, there weren't a lot of chains either at the time, like back in the 70s and the early 80s. There was like a McDonald's and a Burger King, but there weren't any like chain pizza places. However, if you went to one of the nearby malls, there was a Papa Gino's, which is, a chain. I think they're from Boston originally. And that's sort of like a New York style, it's a thin crust kind of, could sell it by the slice, New York style pizza. And that was sort of like the holy grail for us, you know. I mean, it sounds sad to say, but it's true. That was like the holy grail because, you know, like my whole family would pile in there and, you know, it was like dark and they had like red checkered tables and you'd get like a transparent red pitcher of, you know, Coke with way too much ice and a couple of pizzas. And,
Yeah.
you know, that was the thing, man. And I was little and they had those little like personal music things, the little personal jukeboxes at each table.
Oh, yeah, baby. Love that.
And we played Disco Duck. It was sick.
Very nice. Very nice. Just real quick on Papa Gino's. Started in Mass. It only existed in Connecticut, Mass, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island.
Oh, really? I thought it was more of a national thing.
I thought it was too, but it's not. There was only 97 locations, and then they bought D'Angelo's Sandwich Shop, and then they filed for bankruptcy 2 years ago.
There you go.
Bada bing.
Everybody calves. Perfect.
Well, thanks for that.
Hey, that's what I do.
But, you know, as far as what I grew up with where I lived, it was like pretty much all Greek pizza joints.
Interesting.
Really? I'd never heard of Greek pizza before.
Oh, my God. I'm like Ben. I've had so much Greek pizza. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Just looking at it, it doesn't interest me in the fucking least, but it might be good.
Connecticut has a lot of, or at least the area that I grew up, I would say almost all of the restaurants were owned by Greeks. So it was always like a Greek style pizza. I'm not talking like, you know, Kalamata olives and feta cheese and, you know, that kind of a thing. It's, you know, just you could get like a, you know, pepperoni pizza. It's just a different style of pizza. The crust is different. The sauce is different. The cheese is different. It's good, but it's not like you're, you know, it's not something, it's just a different style, I guess is really all I could say.
Yeah. It says here that it's heavier on the sauce, thick and chewy crust, may or may not have Greek toppings.
Yeah.
And cheese is usually a mixture of mozz, cheddar, or provolone. Does that sound about right?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, so Jarhigo and I both grew up in Connecticut, as everybody's probably guessed already. And there's a huge Greek community in Connecticut. One of my best friends from when I was younger is Greek. I've had so much Greek pizza. Like it was as ubiquitous, I guess is the right word, as like Italian style, New York style pizza was. The crust is different. It's like it's not like focaccia. It's like it's lighter and airier.
It's more bready almost, right?
Yeah, but yet lighter and crispier at the same time. And it's got a kind of a butteriness to it. It's really, really good. I always honestly preferred the crust on a Greek pizza. Well, it's tough. But the Greek pizza crust I found to be really, really tasty. Super tasty. In terms of like actual flavor, like the crust alone, as opposed to like a New York style pizza where it's like, you know, it's good. It's bread, it's dough, it's all of that stuff, but it tastes like plain bread when you eat it. You know what I mean? So the Greek pizza it's definitely its own thing. It's very similar in style to Italian pizza, New York pizza.
Yeah. I think when I was young, you know, I took the Greek pizza for granted because it was everywhere. I mean, you couldn't, you know, you couldn't walk a block without tripping over a pizza joint.
Oh my God, totally.
In fact, we used to fuck with people because our phone number was like one number off from Johnny's Pizza, and people would call us all the time for pizza. So sometimes we would just pretend to be Johnny's and
nice.
Because it just got so annoying, answer the phone all the time.
It's awesome.
But I don't think definitely now I miss, like, whenever I go back to where I grew up in Connecticut, I always have to get, like, you know, one of 5 different Greek style pizzas that are out there. And it's awesome. It's a totally different thing. And, you know, for me, we always thought the New York style stuff, the thin crust pizza was like special, you know, because you couldn't just walk around the corner and get it. Nobody made it, you know, you had to travel somewhere to get it. So we thought it was special, but, you know, I think those Greek pizzas are really great. And I think that style pizza opened my mind up to different styles of pizza. You know, like some people are super fundamentalists and they fucking hate, like, you know, I'm sure we'll get to deep dish pizza, but, you know, there's an example of like a pizza that people are like, that's not fucking pizza. So I think the Greek style pizza kind of opened up my mind to different styles of pizza. And yeah, man, I miss it sometimes. And consequently, might be one of the best cold slices you could have.
Yes, I agree with that, actually. the first place that I ever ate Greek pizza at, I didn't get that it was like Greek. I didn't get that it was different because I was so young. But this place, you had to wait in line to get in there, and it was killing it every single day. So, and this was close to New York. You can say whatever you want about, New York pizza and thin crust pizza or whatever, man. This pizza was killing it. And you could find it all up and down the coast and really basically all over the state of Connecticut.
It's interesting, man. Until I opened up a page 10 minutes before we started, I had never even heard of it. I mean, looking at it, I kind of recognize having seen it in passing, but I probably I don't know, just assumed it was just another form of traditional Italian style, but I'm intrigued to try some of the places that you guys are down with for sure.
Well, let me add this. It's not a knockoff in the sense of like, oh, we made an Italian pizza and just put feta and olives on it. It's like snore, like that's stupid. Like that's why I chimed in about the crust before. The crust is very unique. It's very different and it's very flavorful, and it's just got a really great texture to it. And it's just a different experience and it's really good. And I agree with Ben. It is probably the best cold slice.
On the crust, I'm curious about your guys' view on crust, because as a kid, I would, didn't waste my time on the crust, as most kids don't. And I'm kind of curious when that transition happened for you, because even up until I was a teenager, I think I was like, well, why would I waste my time eating crust when I could just eat more slices of non-crust? You know what I mean? So it sounds like the Greek pizza might have kind of pushed you in another direction in that space.
Absolutely. And my answer to the question is this. When I was a kid, as kids do, I didn't eat crust either, but I ate the Greek pizza crust. If it wasn't burnt, I would eat the Greek pizza crust because it tasted so good on its own.
Yeah, right. What about you, Benny? When did you find your crustafarian ways and start eating the crust?
The very, 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 I am a crustafarian. The very first slice, man.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
You're all the way.
Yeah. I don't know if it was like something about how I was raised or whatever, but maybe it had something to do with like not wasting or,
Sure.
Or being made to appreciate the thing for all of its components,
Yeah.
because I mean, really, I get why kids do that. And I know some adults that still do that. I want to slap them sometimes. I'm like,
Fair
damn
enough.
you're not eating the pizza. Did you want some cheese and tomato sauce? I could fucking, it's just silly. I'm sorry to anybody who's, I wouldn't really slap you, but,
Don't be sorry, man. Pizza's an opinionated space.
No, don't be sorry. Anybody that does that, we're going to come and knock you on the head with a hammer.
I like that you're a tried and true crustafarian, man. That's impressive. I definitely relied on my dad eating my crust for me, like I do for my son. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you say crust, are you referring to not bothering with the end piece, or
the outer limits of the pizza, the bit that they filled with cheese in weird chains?
Okay. Because some people just pull the cheese and
those people are fucking animals, Ben.
Toppings off of the pizza and eat that, and then they don't even.
What?
Oh yeah.
They pulled the cheese and the toppings off and eat the crust with the sauce on it?
Yeah. So there's deep, anti-crust people out there.
Oh, you're saying they pull the cheese and the toppings off and they eat the cheese and toppings only?
Right.
Those people should be hung.
Yeah.
Do you know any of those people? Have you encountered them in the wild?
I've seen them out there.
No, I haven't.
I'm not going to name any names, with the.
No, that's fine.
I don't want a mob to show up at their door with torches.
How do you guys feel about ranch dressing on pizza? Because that's a big thing with some people.
All right, so are we getting into a what should and shouldn't be on a pizza? Because you're basically going there right now.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm of the mind of this. I grew up eating pizza in an area that was really equidistant to New Haven and New York, two cultural centers of pizza. Pizza should not have buffalo chicken. It should not have ranch. It should not have pineapple. It should not have ham. Well, ham maybe. I went to school in the South and they put barbecue on pizza. I saw that in the early 90s and I was like, I couldn't believe they were eating it. I was pissed. I don't think any of those things belong on pizza. I think it's gross. I remember eating a cheeseburger pizza from Pizza Hut one time, and it was absolutely delicious. But cheeseburger pizza is not like that's not real pizza to me. Like, it's got to have
It's novelty pizza.
classic ingredients. Like, and it's just the way I grew up.
I've never had Pizza Hut.
Really?
Really?
Wow. You're lucky.
Okay.
I don't think it's much better than the other ones.
I mean, it's better than Domino's, I can tell you that, but
Dude,
or at least it was.
dog shit's better
I
than
don't know.
Domino's.
Yeah, dog shit. But anyway, so I'm very much a purist, you know, in terms of what I think should go on a pizza, you know. I've eaten plenty of pizzas with bacon on it, so I don't know. I guess in a classic sense, that's not a classic ingredient, but I mean, dude, look, I've eaten like a Thai styled themed pizza. I have eaten buffalo chicken on pizza, ranch, chicken, whatever. I've tried all that stuff, you know. I'm not going to say it's not good, but it's not real pizza.
You don't classify it as pizza.
No.
Yeah, generally I agree. I don't need to retread that exact same statement.
I disagree.
Okay.
Whoa, here we go, folks. Heating up. Go.
At least when it comes to pineapple and ham on a pizza.
Oh my god.
Oh,
'Cause the Hawaiian is one of my favorites.
fuck.
Oh.
We made it to episode 66, folks.
But I think it's like, you know, it has the same effect as like cilantro for some people. Like, they don't like it. I absolutely love it.
Wow.
Wow.
I wouldn't get it every time, you know what I mean? But once in a while, it's fun.
I feel like that's okay though to me that you're into that because your pizza compass is like proper. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I'm not the only one. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a thing. And I think some people are just afraid to admit how they feel about it.
Yeah, it could be.
All right, fair enough. I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't really care for it. I have had it for sure. But the combination of flavors on top of a classic pizza flavor, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't really work for me. And, you know, like I said a minute ago, it's not real pizza. But like, there are people, what I mean by the compass comment is like, you grew up with real pizza. You know what it is. So your pizza compass is true. Okay. So like, there are people that grew up eating barbecue on pizza, that grew up eating like these weird pizzas like buffalo ranch chicken. Like, that's a pizza compass that's oriented south, not north.
I get you, man.
Right? I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
Look, man, you put pineapple and ham on an ordinary pizza, there's not much different going on there. They're just different toppings than some people would like to have. Barbecue chicken, Big Mac pizza, you know, then you're really like, you're just putting different things onto a pizza crust. Is it pizza? Sure. But, you know, I don't expect the purist to be on board with it, per se.
Right. But I think what you said is right. Like, when you get into like buffalo ranch or buffalo chicken with ranch and cheddar cheese, like, you are now taking a pizza crust and, you know, I'm being generous saying pizza crust and putting different toppings on it. And it's very much something different now.
Yeah. I would personally put that type of pizza, I'm willing to call it a pizza because there's no point in fighting over it, as long as like I can kind of classify it as like a novelty pizza. You know, like, it's, you know, New York is a genre, Neapolitan, Greek, California, Chicago, those are like major genres of pizza. But, you know, some of those weirder ones, especially with like radical cheese departures and stuff, they're just novelty pizzas and they might be fantastic, but I'm perfectly happy for people to enjoy them, but they're not traditional pizzas.
Okay, fine. Then I would agree with that and say that they are, but they're novelty pizzas. Yeah.
Like, there's dessert pizzas here, which is the weirdest thing to me.
That's weird.
It's just fucking weird. Sorry, Benny, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, if it's got crust and red sauce and cheese, whatever the topping is, it's still a pizza. If it's got bacon on it, great. If it's got anchovies on it, great. If it's got, you know, like whatever, it doesn't. I think the topping is just the topping. That's where my, like, you know, my purest thing kicks in at the level of, like, you know, the cottage pie pizza, where like you put mashed potatoes and, you know, root vegetables and like, you know, mushroom sauce ground beef on a pie crust. Like, I'm not sure if that's pizza. I'm pretty sure it's still pizza, but it's not a traditional pizza.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there that people put on pizza. And, I guess, I don't resonate with the traditionalist attitude per se, like most people do, because I think there's room for all of it and it's interesting. It's just,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
What do you like,
I agree. But I think categories in my mind now, I think categories are important, and I'm gravitating more towards traditional thinking now. So having moved back to Connecticut, I'm also now very much like hometown pride with New Haven pizza. The funny thing to me, growing up in this state, is that, New Haven is really famous for its own style of pizza. Now, it's not very much different than New York, but it is different. But I definitely more of a purist. So when I say purist, I mean like, okay, you want to talk about Chicago style? Fine, great. That's totally a type of pizza. Detroit style, same thing. New York, absolutely. The only Greek style, definitely. I was reading about pizza in Argentina. I was like, very interesting. California is not a style of pizza. I'm sorry. I can't.
It is a style of pizza, but it's like where all of the stupid shit goes to die.
Exactly. It's like more weird crap from California. Like I'm sorry. Anybody out there from California, like, I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, dude. I lived in California for long enough to be able to say that it is its own style and it's not my style. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
But I think we could get really bogged down in talking about all of these different genres, and probably will touch on them a bit more. But I thought Benny, before the show started, Benny checked out an idea of pairing pizza with action stars, and I thought that'd be fucking hilarious. I think now would be a good time to do it.
Let's do it.
Mainly, I find it really funny because the pizza website that I'm looking at, just like randomly to kind of keep things in mind, has the different styles of pizza and it's pairing them with alcohols. It's like saying Chicago style should be had with a Zinfandel and New York style should be had with a Manhattan cocktail. And it's just like, who the fuck wrote this? It's like,
what, for real?
All pizza should be paired with either beer or soda or water. Like, fucking Zinfandel. Shut the fuck up, man.
No. Wine, man.
Really?
Really should be. I eat pizza with wine. Yeah, I've had it with beer. I used to eat it with beer, but it's too. I find it to be too much. So it's like, a little bit of wine.
I've never had wine with pizza in my entire life. It's a very interesting idea.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having wine with pizza, but I'm definitely more of a beer with pizza type. Not a heavy beer. You want to you want to go with a couple of your buddies and you get like a pitcher or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A fucking Manhattan.
That's what I'm saying.
Get out of here.
That's so stupid,
man. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That is stupid.
But what isn't stupid is pepperoni and 9mm bullets.
Yes.
Yeah, we were almost going there anyway. So what would Arnie's pizza be?
In the classic Arnold's Pizza Shop, we have to say out loud the hilarious skit that I'll link to in the show notes. Pepperoni and 9mm bullets is fucking hilarious. Like, that's one of my favorite little random internet skits from the last, decade or something.
I'm out killing pepperoni.
No doubt. And I do I believe I included that as a sort of little egg at the end of one of the mixes if you stayed for after the credits. I don't know if any of you folks at home stay for the credits. I would shut it off for the credits. Personally, I do that on many of the podcasts I listen to, but a lot of times we put little eggs and nuggets at the end of the credits, so stick around for that. I put the Arnold's Pizza Shop at the end of the show one time.
And it was glorious.
And we'll link it up again for sure.
Yeah. I wish I knew who actually did that because it is so funny.
But if we weren't allowed to use 9mm bullets and pepperoni, my first inkling is like venison pizza because he was the Governator of California and there's the baby deer in Commando. I don't know how you feel about that. But I kind of picture him carving up the baby deer and serving it to Alyssa Milano in California. In California.
California. So you're saying that Arnold's pizza would be a baby deer
Yeah, carved up baby deer served to a young Alyssa Milano. That's my take.
God, that is possibly one of the darkest places you've ever gone, dude. Wow.
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe the other thing would be whatever it was Alyssa Milano had put on the sandwiches that
oh yeah,
we never found out about.
Oh.
those are some weird sandwiches.
I was like, what the hell did you put on this?
What's in this?
Which it probably would have been some weird California style topping, so it fits. It totally fits.
Okay, so let's take all of these ideas. Now we have a recipe for a pizza. It's a California style.
Yep.
Consisting of baby deer.
Sorry. It's a California.
It's a California style. It's got 9mm bullets, baby deer, and the weird shit that was in the sandwiches.
Is that acceptable, Benny? Do you think that's an acceptable Arnie pizza?
Sure, I do. I thought everybody was going to take a turn at it.
Okay.
But, I guess if I'm adding something to the pie, it would be nuke food.
I love it.
Because Arnie expresses his love for nuke food.
Nuke food.
In Twins, the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh, that is
I'm just
really good one.
I'm just kidding.
It's underrated.
It's the Die Hard 2 of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
All right, so let's move on to our next hero. I think sort of the obvious next choice would be Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone.
Who ate pizza in the
That's
Cobra
true.
episode, cold, and he cut it with scissors.
Benny, take a swing at Stallone, man.
Yeah, come on, Benny. This is like totally your wheelhouse, bro.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it was going to have steak on it, but maybe I'll just get the chicken salad too.
It's a chicken salad pizza. I love it.
Let's just think here for a second. He ate boar in First Blood. He ate grilled chicken with spring water and lemon in Over the Top. He ate the cold pizza in Cobra.
What was he smashing in Rocky? Surely there were some eating scenes in between his sweatsuit running sequences.
Well, it should have a fist pulverized side of beef on it.
Yeah, tenderized chicken or something.
It's important to note, too, that in Rocky Balboa, which came out, was the last Rocky movie, the sixth one, which was actually very good, he owned an Italian restaurant in that.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So you got all of those things. Like, what would he eat? Or should we just go totally like LSD mental and just be like sliced teasel on a pie? That's what he would eat.
Carpaccio of teasel.
Carpaccio of teasel with his sweetbreads. And a little art galt on top of that. I don't know, maybe.
And Kev, those were some pretty big sweetbreads.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I really think Stallone would just be like a, stereotypical New York slice, but eaten with scissors,
Yeah, exactly. A la Cobra.
Like you bring your own scissors into the pizza joint and you're like, you trim a little piece off, you eat it.
I think that's perfect.
You're wearing your sunglasses and you're looking at your computer and you take your scissors, you cut off a little piece and you eat it.
I think Ben's right. It's got to be classic New York with the caveat of wearing the black leather gloves. I'll add that in, and cutting it with scissors.
Yeah,
that's it right there. Cobra
and
style.
dark sunglasses.
We'll call that Cobra style, and the sunglasses.
Cobra style. I want to eat a pizza Cobra style now because I think it'd be fun.
I do too, man. I mean, but look, the fact of the matter is that Stallone is an Italian boy. He is from New York, so it has to be classic New York style, gloves, glasses, scissors.
Yeah, I'm on board. That sounds good.
I love it.
Okay. I love like the sweet nothings that Stallone would whisper to his pizza.
Yeah, exactly. But this slice has a big bubble in it. I don't like those bubbles. I'm just going to cut that out. Put that aside.
It's cut around the bubbles.
Remember, it's the Governator's pot's a little bit too burnt.
I'm so glad we're doing this segment.
Stand by.
Guys, hang on a second. Folks, we're going to be getting right back to the nerdery in a second, but I just had to take a quick break because I want to thank everybody so much for tuning into the show. We put a lot of work into it, and we really love doing it. And if you like the show, there's a couple of great ways you can support the show. First, you can rate us and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can also tell someone to check out the show. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful, incredibly important, and we really appreciate it. Thanks so much for tuning into the show, and now back to the mayhem.
I think we should round robin. So, Kev, you picked the last one. Benny, who's next?
Well, it's got to be Seagal.
Definitely.
And if I may, I'm just going to close this one out right now. It's like an English muffin pizza, but it's on a donut.
Oh, yeah, dude. Definitely. And it's, but like the key component is that, like Seagal in Out for Justice, he thinks it's like Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like he thinks it's like Italian pizza. Just like he thinks that like he's Italian in that movie, which he so is not.
Would he take a donut and like slice it in the middle like a bagel, open face it with tomato sauce and cheese, and that's the pizza?
That's it, dude. That is it.
And I would argue that the Seagal pie would be called the Uncle Pino.
That's awesome.
In honor of the stupidest of the ridiculous anecdotes in that movie that went absolutely nowhere and had nothing to do with the story.
And so what kind of donut would it be? Would it be a sugar donut? Would it be chocolate dipped?
I mean, my instinct is it's just an old fashioned, you know?
Yeah. An old fashioned was what
Yeah,
I was thinking,
yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Maybe sometimes when he's missing Japan, he puts a little like sashimi on it, thinking he's being all fancy, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it like the Japanese do it. I'm gonna put some nice raw tuna, maybe a little salmon.
I taught the Japanese how to make sushi.
You know, I studied martial arts in Japan for a long time. Did I ever tell you that?
Some people like to put crushed red pepper on a pizza. I like to put a little bit of crushed up nori,
A little wasabi.
little seaweed, little wasabi.
Okay, so Seagal has the Uncle Pino. Did we name the other pies?
No, we did not.
All right, so the Stallone pie has to be called the Cobretti.
Yeah, the Cobretti, yeah.
Cabetti, and then the Governator for...
Yeah, the Governator's good, yeah.
Governator for the Arnold.
As far as the next action star is concerned, I want to pitch...
Bruno.
It's not your fucking turn, bro.
I'm suggesting Bruno.
I think... I don't know whether I want to do character or whether I want to do the actor, but my first instinct was to do Snake Plissken, but Kurt Russell.
Ooh. Good alt to Bruno.
All right, well, I mean, it's got to have some kind of pork product on it because of the Pork Chop Express.
Agree.
You know, I mean,
Agree.
He's eating that big ham sandwich at the beginning of it, you know?
Okay.
So this is kind of like a Meat Lovers, but it's only pork-based meats or something?
No, hold on, man. Does he eat anything in Escape from New York or just air and bullets and attitude?
That's just got an eye patch, Kev.
Did he eat anything at chock full of nuts?
No, but the zombies came out of the floor.
You know, his sweet white camo pantaloons would probably have had pockets with pizza toppings in them, so they did have those like extra eye patch pockets and stuff.
I'm kind of thinking like the pie would be topped with pork and eye patches.
Yeah, I'm feeling
You know-
it.
Exactly what I said, Kev. It's a pizza with pork and an eye patch.
Or maybe it's like large salami, but the salami is cut in the shape of eye patches.
It's got pepperoni eye patches.
Pepperoni eye patches.
I love the idea of a pepperoni eye patch.
Ah, Christ, egg, it's a pizza with pepperoni eye patches and pork on it.
You guys got to do is that a pizza? Yep. We're going to eat it? Yep.
But while we're there, what kind of a pizza would Egg Shen make?
Six Demon, of course.
It's got earth, fire, and all that kind of thing.
I like it. I think his pizza would have little pieces of dry ice so that it had like a little fog coming off of it.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It just got me thinking maybe, maybe there's like a pool of black blood of the earth in the middle of it.
Mm.
And if you're not careful, that beast comes out and the pizza eats you.
I like it.
You will come back no more.
All right, so just to put a bow on the Kurt Russell pie, can we call it the Six Demon pie or not?
Yeah. I think there should be pepperoni eye patches, fried eggs.
I mean,
pork
products of some sort. What kind of pork products? Ham?
all of them.
all of them.
Okay.
Pork belly,
Bacon, pork belly, ham,
pancetta,
ribs,
capricola, little gabagool.
and then the pizza also has to have chunks of dry ice, so it has like spooky, ethereal,
Spooky smoke,
mystical mist
Yeah.
coming off of it, like when you open the box.
I think there's 3 different pizzas here, and that's great. You've got the Snake Plissken, you've got the Jack Burton, and then you've got the Egg Shen.
Okay. I'm down.
I love how there's an Egg Shen, even though he's not Kurt Russell.
So is the egg shen pizza fried eggs and dried ice? Is that where we're and the black blood of the earth instead of a pizza chair?
Well, C-Lab, it's got fire, earth, all that kind of thing.
I love it.
And dried ice and fried eggs and black blood of the earth.
That's what the Egg Shen pizza is.
And you have to drink some of that weird magic potion while you're eating it.
Right.
It's a mystical Chinese pizza that imbues you with magical powers.
Right. I'm down. I'm definitely down. And then
After you have a slice, you're like, I feel pretty positive about this.
and what's the Jack Burton then? Did we figure out the Jack Burton then?
Jack Burton is just all kinds of, it's the Pork Chop Express, and it's literally every kind of pork product.
The pie should be called the Pork Chop Express with only pork products.
Yes, the pie has to be called the Pork Chop Express.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm down with that. And then the Snake Plissken is pepperoni eye patches. All right, next up.
It's got to be Bruno, man. Right?
Yeah.
Unquestionably.
Now, we know that he's going to be drinking a Barefoot Bruno while he's eating his pizza.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what kind of pizza he would eat.
I think Bruno would just smoke cigarettes and watch you eat a pizza.
I think the cigarettes would be on the pizza.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think the pizza would just have cigarettes.
Is this just cheese pizza with a bunch of cigarettes put out in it?
Yeah. You don't actually eat the pizza, you smoke the cigarettes.
It's just a giant ashtray. You have to eat it at an airport and you just put cigarettes out in it and don't eat any of it. I think that's perfect. And get drunk on Barefoot Brunos.
So just to recap, it's a regular. Is it a New York style pizza? Is this a California pizza? Is it
That's just a cheese pizza, I think, personally.
just like a crappy cheese pizza?
I'm pretty sure that this is like maybe a subpar New York slice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, for some reason, I just have a picture of Bruno folding his slice in half.
Definitely. He's a folder, man.
And eating it that way, like doing it the old school New York way, but it's filled with cigarettes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's nasty. Holy moly.
It's like a cigarette taco. I kind of picture it being like a New York style pizza, but it's it's run of the mill because it's really greasy. So it's like dripping,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good New York slice.
Yeah,
it's a subpar New York slice. Yeah, like Stallone knows like the good places to go to.
Exactly.
But Bruno doesn't. He's not quite there. Or he doesn't really care. He's just like he's kind of schlubby. So he's like whatever. I don't need the I don't need the best slice of pizza. I just need a fucking slice.
He's in a rush. He's saving the day.
I like the folded slice with the cigarettes in it, and he has to be wearing a stained, nasty wife beater while he's eating it.
Oh yeah, stained with cigarettes and pizza grease.
Yeah, exactly. And it has to be called the Nakatomi something. No?
The Nakatomi Smoke Show.
There you go. Nice.
Nakatomi Smoke Show is perfect.
Should it be California style though? If it's going to be the Pakatomi?
I know. I thought about that, but he's a New York cop in California in the first movie, so
maybe that's the story, is that he got a New York style pie in California, but he was so disgusted with it, he just put his butts out in it.
But then he ate it anyways because he was trapped in Nakatomi Tower and he didn't have anything else to eat.
Whoa! There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
there may have also been some foot, blood, and glass on it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that it? We're just doing 6?
Okay, well, I'll let you guys take them. There's 2 left. There is the Vin Diesel,
Yep.
Definitely.
which is very important, and of course the Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
We would be assholes if we left those guys out of this.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I agree.
Vin Diesel, Carl Urban.
Whew, man.
Those are tough ones.
Vin Diesel. Really, really tough. I would say the Vin Diesel, it's got to be...
Kielbasa?
Well, what?
Why kielbasa?
That's the first thing that came to mind. Kielbasa pizza. Yeah.
Why kielbasa?
I don't know. It just sounds like a Vin Diesel. Sounds like Vin Diesel will enjoy a good kielbasa.
I'm going to go with... okay, I'm going to stick to the kind of the Riddick universe here. Just say O2 waffles.
What the fuck is an O2 waffle? I don't recall.
I have no idea, but he talks about it in the Chronicles of Riddick enough.
Okay.
Oh, the protein waffles?
No, he calls them O2 waffles.
Okay.
I hope it's protein waffles and we have a random death, but
I don't know, man. Maybe I've heard it wrong every single time I've watched it. I doubt that, but whatever. You know what? I'm gonna just eject real quick and I'm gonna just check on this. Sorry.
Okay, but I think you should also have, there are a couple important beasts in the Riddick universe. The one from Pitch Black, and then the ones from Riddick. I think it should have it should have some choice cuts from those on the waffle.
well, I think the hammerhead things in Pitch Black, I think that's what he uses to cut the pizzas with.
Oh, I thought he was just going to use his necromonger knife.
I don't know if he'd get his necromonger knives. I don't think he would sully them with pizza. He only kills with them. So he'd maybe I don't know. I kind of feel like the beaks of those beasts would be good pizza cutters.
If you stand right in front of the pizza, it can't see you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it should be called the Furion.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the Furion. It's it's baked on the surface of crematoria.
Totally. So it's a crispy, blackened crust pie. Traditional red base cheese pie, and then just has some interesting toppings.
It's got a teacup.
Maybe that's how he cuts it. He cuts circular slices.
Ooh. Maybe it's like from The Jerk. It's cup of pizza.
That's awesome.
In a teacup.
It makes sense in the Chicago style. It's a Chicago style deep dish pizza, but it's ultra deep in a teacup. I like that.
Okay, according to this website that I'm looking on that has a literal transcript of the movie, it's protein waffles. So I guess I was wrong all of the times I watched it. Wow. Talk about an epic death.
I like the idea of O2 waffles.
Yeah, me too.
If you're trapped in the vacuum of space, you can just mouse some O2 waffles and they'll keep you alive.
Yeah. You just bite on a waffle and go on a spacewalk. Did you miss the decision on Diesel, Kev? I mean, yeah, Kev, because that was pretty good.
What's that?
It's a ultra deep dish Chicago style pizza and is cooked in a teacup.
In a teacup on crematoria.
Yeah.
With protein waffles on it.
Yes.
Mini protein waffles on it because it's a teacup.
Sounds good.
I like it.
And it's called the Furion.
I love it. I love that. All right, now on to the even harder one.
the twice as hard, Carl Urban.
Twice as hard as Carl Urban. Well, Carl Urban's pie is accompanied by some Lord Vaco wine. No question about that. I don't ever remember him eating in any single thing I've seen him in. So then I just thought, well, what if we just covered it in the various different types of ammunition from Dread? So it's covered in
That's good.
high X, hot shots, regular bullets, I don't know.
But what about Billy Butcher and Bones from Star Trek? I think there's got to be something there.
Well, there is. He rattles off the names of all these weird diseases, in the beginning of the first one when they first meet.
The Bones pizza would have to be the equivalent of whatever was in the hyperspray that he gave to Kirk to get him onto the Enterprise. So it would just be that in a pizza. Kirk would eat it, and then, of course, his hands would swell up and his face would swell up, and he'd have to get on the Enterprise to stay under his care.
Maybe that's what it would be. Are you saying that it would actually be pizza in spray form?
Ooh. Sure, yeah, it's a hyperspray pizza.
It's like an injectable or like a Banaka style pizza. I love that.
I'm feeling like the Billy Butcher should be like English style breakfast on a pizza.
Oh fuck yeah, totally. Black and white pudding.
Yeah, beans and
Fucking rashers. Oh, I love that.
rashers, a grilled tomato.
Yeah, I'm so on board with that.
Some mushrooms.
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Stop with the spray weird shit. It's a fucking English breakfast on a pizza. I absolutely love that. The Billy Butcher.
All right, I'll go with that. Hold on one second. God damn it. Forget it. Whatever. Oh, here you go. Oh, I got it. This is perfect. Melvarian mud fleas.
This is the biggest ejection death ever.
Maybe. I was trying to find a good ingredient for a Carl Urban pie, but whatever. All right.
The Billy Butcher.
All right, so the Billy Butcher has an English breakfast
The full English, yeah.
on what? On like a crappy pizza, a New York pizza? Like what kind of pizza is it?
It's just a
Like
normal pizza.
All right, a normal pizza with an English breakfast and Mulvaran mud fleas.
Sure.
How's that?
I think you got to throw the mud fleas in just because of how much time it took to get to find it.
That and the fact that he was McCoy in Star Trek, and it has to go with a bottle of Lord Vaco's wine.
Right. Well, if you want to throw the dread thing in there, then it's got ammo and recycled food on it as well.
Yeah, high X bullets and hot shot bullets on it.
Yes, and recycled food.
There you have it, folks. We hope you enjoyed our segment on what pizza would our action hero eat.
The ultimate action hero cul-de-sac.
All right, so now that we've sort of dialed in our action heroes, our favorite action heroes, let's talk about the dark side of pizza for a second. So we've talked about a lot of the styles. We obviously haven't covered everything. We don't have all the time in the world to talk about all of this stuff. And we wanted to keep the show light as well. But going into the dark side, that would be sort of I guess you could say the bastardization of pizza. So if you're New York style, you're Chicago, you're Detroit, you're Greek, you're New Haven, those are like classic styles that originated from Italy, traditional recipes, obviously except for the Greek. Your dark side would be your Domino's. We already alluded to this in the beginning when Chad talked about his vomit pizza.
Yep.
And then you've got how has pizza been taken to just terrible levels in terms of frozen pizzas, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Caesars, Papa John's, Cece's. Like, what do we think about all of that stuff, firstly?
So you're saying like the factory food style?
Yeah, factory food style pizzas. That's the dark side of pizza to me. You know, that's the let's just take it and make it as like, you know, cheap and as fast as we can and not put anything into it. It's clearly not about making food. It's not about making a meal, an experience, any of that. It's about making money.
Yeah.
And also expanding your equator, coincidentally.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it's like with every other food these days, especially in the States, just like
the portions are gigantic.
Well, it's like it's not even food.
It's not food.
Like fuel, you know?
Ugh, I wouldn't even call it fuel, man. It's just like
there's like fuel for fit people, and then there's fuel for fat people, and it's like fat people fuel, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, being a bit of a fatty myself, I feel comfortable saying that like that kind of food is like fat people fuel, you know, like we've all bought it from time to time, but it doesn't mean it's like adds anything to society.
Sure. I mean, I want to make a distinction here too. When you say like fat people fuel, we're not making a crack against people that are fat.
No, not at all.
But it will get you there, I think, is the point.
But it'll make you fat if you plow it.
I can attest to this.
Then there you have it, folks. Jarhigo can attest to that.
Yeah, it'll get you there, man. It's just easy, and I suppose you know,
keep it to the cheat days.
Easy food doesn't mean healthy, and you just end up in a really bad spot, I suppose. And it's just gross stuff. It makes you feel gross. You cry in the shower after you eat it.
And then you eat a pint of ice cream.
Hey, man.
You're feeling shameful already.
You can't eat less than a pint of ice cream. That'd just be lame.
I don't have a lot of experience with the dark side of pizza.
Oh, come on. Everybody does, man.
Frozen stuff maybe, but not chain stuff. I'm similar.
Frozen stuff for sure, because what is there really?
Yeah.
If you're feeling that way, and you want a frozen pizza, well, there just is what there is, and none of them are really that good.
Yeah.
But I don't have a lot of experience with like pizza chains per se.
Yeah.
We used to do Papa Gino's, but that was like back in the 70s, and I have no idea if it seemed pretty legit then, but I was a little kid, so I don't know. We never went to Pizza Hut. I got Domino's delivery once because it finally, we wanted delivery. It was the only place that delivered, and there was finally one in the area. And I agree, it was nothing. It was, I don't know if it tasted like puke to me, but it was just not very good.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I mean, I've had some pretty dark side experiences from pizza joints out here, but I don't really want to throw anybody under the bus per se.
Nah.
But we have experienced it. I certainly have.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not just talking about chains. I'm really just talking about kind of the bottom of the barrel in terms of like the quality and turning it into part of the industrial machine that is America's fat fillers, that's what those certainly those chains are like, but really anybody making like a lower quality pizza.
There's something to be said about being really disappointed by a slice of pizza.
There is a lot to be said about that, man.
That's some dark side shit right there in and of itself, because it's something that, it should be really simple, right? It should be simple. It should be hard to fuck up, because I've had lots of different styles of pizza that, maybe it's not New York pizza, but it's good pizza, it's still good. I've had some like Sicilian pies and some different pan pizzas and, just different kinds of things that are, they're not like traditional pizza, but they're good, So when you go so far as to fuck up the fundamentals so badly that you leave somebody with like, it's like you got your lunch, you have to eat it now, but it's awful. And it just makes you sad when you're eating that slice of pizza. It just makes you makes you start doubting, the goodness of the world.
I love it. That's like the best description of the dark side of pizza ever.
And there's something to be said about, like you think it might be, it smelled like it might be good, or you've heard good things about it, and then you get it and you're just like, ugh, what the fuck?
Or you're starving for it on top of everything you just said.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. You have to eat it, but it sucks. And it just ruins your outlook for a while. I think that's the ultimate darkest side of pizza, because, I don't know, there's probably people out there that like Domino's or whatever, and that's fine. But, you know what you're in for when you do that, or what you're in for when you get a fucking DiGiorno's or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know what's going to happen. You know what it's going to be like. There's no pretense.
Nothing good. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only shame at the end of that one.
But, when you go in open-hearted to try some pizza and it's just fucking awful, that is really it's terrible.
Yeah. The thing that came to mind for me, and I definitely don't want to shit on these guys because I don't know them, but Cisco Foods, whenever you see like a Cisco Foods truck delivering food to a restaurant, it's going to be just the most generic fucking,
right.
cheese and generic sauces. And it's like they don't have enough money to make their own cheese and own sauce like the mega chains. And they're definitely not buying in really nice cheeses and nice sauces. It's just like the run-of-the-mill fucking high school cafeteria disgustingness,
Oh, there you go. Now you're hitting something, man.
Oh, that is one of the darkest pizza experiences you can have.
Yeah.
High school cafeteria.
It's high school cafeteria pizza. There you go, man.
Gum on a sponge.
That is the dark side of pizza.
Whew, that is rough. Jesus. Yeah, wow, Ben, you really knocked it out of the park with that little diatribe about the dark side. That is probably the worst thing. Here's something that's pretty dark is people that only have access. Like, I mean, this is a big country, right? So people that only have access to Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, and they have never experienced like good Chicago, Detroit, New York, New Haven, whatever, like that is dark right there. Like never I mean, I guess you could kind of frame it as like ignorance is bliss, but by the same token, if that's your bar, that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been everywhere, but I feel like most places I've been, there's some like mom and pop pizza joint, whether it's
Yeah.
better than the chains or worse
You'd
or
think.
whatever, I don't know. But like you would think there's got to be like one little, one pearl out there in every area. But I don't know, maybe not.
Because it really is the mom and pops that keep it going, for sure. Because, I mean, any of the mega, like, 9 out of 10 best pizza you've ever had, it was a mom and pop shop fucking 100 years ago, in New York or Brooklyn or,
No doubt.
all of these places started as mom and pop shops. Even the mega chains did, but with different intentions, maybe.
Yeah. There's some really awesome anomalies out there, where it's just a totally different thing. Like there's a place near, fuck it, I'll give them a shout out, whatever. There's a restaurant called Hank's in Brooklyn, Connecticut. And it's a family restaurant that you can go into and sit down and have like a salad bar and, they have seafood and steaks and all that kind of shit. But they make a pizza and I've never had anything else like it. And they're awesome. They're not very big. They're kind of small and they're very like, I don't know. I think they cook them in like maybe a cast iron pan or something along those lines. Because it's very like the cheese. I think there's like cheddar and there's some different kinds of cheeses, but the cheese kind of goes all the way to the edge and it's like crispy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And, otherwise it's, it's got like a really kind of a rich tomato sauce and, the crust is kind of more like the Greek style where it's a little like fluffier, but crispy at the same time. And it's fucking awesome. It's amazing.
Wow.
I've never been any place that has that, and they won't tell anybody how they make it. So,
well, see, I dig that, man, because that's like innovative. You know what I mean? It's like you're kind of sticking to, traditional themes in a pizza, but, you got your own little kind of spin on it,
Yeah. But I mean, really, it's just like a little mom and pop joint that's been around for fucking ages, and they've been doing it for ages. And it's just their take on it, so that's tying in with what Chad said about like the mom and pop places that kind of like make the world go round, like you'd like to hope that there's at least something like that, in other corners of the world where, otherwise you would be stuck with something like Domino's. We're just pissing all over Domino's. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, fuck them. It's disgusting pizza.
I don't know. Pizza Hut's pretty gross too. I mean, I gotta say, like when I was younger, I did love like the Pizza Hut, like the flavor.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, you don't know any better, and it's good,
Exactly. And even when you're like a teenager, but like, cause I think we had a Pizza Hut in the town that I grew up in for a little while. And it was like, I just remember like the deep dish pizzas. Like, I mean, really the closest thing to like a Chicago style I've had is from Pizzeria Uno, which I know is like not awesome, but whatever. But Pizza Hut does like
it's where it was invented.
A Pizzeria Uno?
Yeah.
Well, you may be right, but like I'm saying the chain Pizzeria Uno, like, the one in Hyannis is definitely not like going to Chicago to get a deep dish pie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are some awesome mom and pop places, but I'm pretty sure that Uno is the inventor of the deep dish pizza.
Okay. All right. I'm down with that. Yeah. I think that, but Pizza Hut had like, they had like a deep dish pie. I mean, nothing like, it was just so bready. It wasn't like crust, and it was just soaked in grease, man. I mean, it was just really gross but really good. And then they started putting the cheese in the crust, and like that was really good. But again, it's very...
There's shame involved.
Yeah, exactly. There's shame involved. And then like later on, they really just went off the rails, man, with like there was at one point they were putting hot dogs in the crust.
What the fuck?
No, I'm serious. Hot dogs in the crust of a pizza. I mean, come on, man. It's like you can't, the pizza is not enough of a meal. You need a whole nother meal after you eat your pizza. And that's a hot dog wrapped in pizza crust. Like, that is just nuts, man.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, man. Pizza Hut was, they're that and their ad campaigns,
I like the buildings, though.
The buildings are, they're like iconic in their shittiness,
Yeah. I've never been in one, but I always kind of like the weird high red roof thing going on.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, yeah, so Pizza Hut definitely did some weird stuff. And I have one nugget about them. I'm going to save that till the end.
Well, this is the end.
I think we're there.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do the NDR?
Yeah, man. Do it.
Let's do it. Do you have any nuggets?
Wait.
What?
what are we rating here?
Well, it's still, we're not going to rate anything, but it's still the NDR. It's the end of the show. We got to do nuggets and deaths.
Okay, nuggets, the ND anyways, I guess.
All right, we'll do the ND. Sorry, you're right, Ben. You're right.
Yeah, I'll throw a stupid nugget out there, but I won't go first.
Oh, you won't go first. Okay, I have a couple. Most of them are Pizza Hut related.
Okay.
Because they're just so ridiculous. Our president, many, many years before he was president, there was a period of time where Donald Trump was doing commercials for everybody. And he did a Pizza Hut commercial. And I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, everybody out there, with his wife, Ivana. And it was just after their divorce. So when she goes to ask for a slice, he says, no, you can only have half.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Really, really abysmal, man. Pretty bad.
Talk about the dark side of pizza. Jesus Christ.
That is the dark side of pizza, man. That's what I'm talking about, dude.
That's like when pizza hit the bottom. Like, it doesn't get any worse than that.
Oh, that is the pit. Yeah, absolutely. This one's pretty cool. This is also Pizza Hut related. So
that's funny because hold on a second. I think Donald Trump might actually turn into Pizza the Hut in the future, in the near future.
Oh, dude, yes.
Fuck yeah, that's perfect.
I love it. I had a whole thing. I was gonna bring up Pizza the Hut, but
I mean to steal your thunder, but I had to glaze that donut.
No, it's fine. That's fine. No, you had to glaze that donut. I like that.
I did.
No, it's fine. So my second nugget is it's Pizza Hut related, but it's also sort of more nerd related and this show related, and that would be that Pizza Hut, when Back to the Future 2 came out, they ran a promotion where if you ordered a pizza, you could get a free pair of futuristic solar shades.
Ooh, nice.
Like that was their Back to the Future promotional item. I don't know what they looked like, but I wish that I had a pair right now because all I can think of is like Doc Brown's super cool future glasses that he's wearing in the beginning of the movie.
I mean, say what you will, but you'll never get those at a mom and pop pizza shop.
No, you will not. No, you will not. My final nugget is, once again, sorry, Pizza Hut related, so it's all dark side. In Japan, at Pizza Hut, one of the options for the stuffed crust, if you can wrap your mind around this, is sushi.
What?
Yeah, that's real. That's a real thing. The stuffed crust phenomenon took off after the cheese, and Pizza Huts are all over the world. They have like 18,000 locations around the world. And in Japan, in Pizza Hut, you can get sushi as one of the stuffed crust options.
Like a sushi roll? Nigiri sushi?
I'm going to say nigiri, probably.
Okay.
Wait, no, nigiri would be with like fish on top of a pat of rice.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm thinking more like sashimi.
Okay, sashimi.
I'm thinking it's probably...
Oh, so it's not very far off from the Seagal. It's not very far off from the...
It's really not, man.
The Uncle Pino.
Yeah, the Uncle Pino.
All right. I've got two nuggets that are just kind of random. One is your fork and knife comment reminded me of, I had a babysitter once when I was a kid. I would have been maybe 8 years old or something. And my parents were out. She said, what do you want for dinner? We got pizza, whatever from wherever. Pizza shows up. I grab a slice out of the box and start eating it. And she screams at me and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, what am I doing? And she says, you can't eat that with your hands. You have to eat it with a fork and a knife. And she was European. And I was very confused and was like, no, you eat it with your hands. And she refused to believe me that you eat pizza with your hands and forced me to eat it with a fork and a knife. And as an 8-year-old, it was probably the most confusing moment of my life up until that point.
But I think that's the way you eat it in Europe, right? No?
When I was in Italy, that is the way that you do eat it. But I just, as an 8-year-old, you can imagine the confusion. It was just wow. It was quite funny.
Wow. Jesus, dude. You must have been freaked out. We didn't touch on this on the show. How do you guys feel about folding a slice to eat it?
I don't fold it in half, but I give it a good V shape so that it maintains structure. But I'm not eating crust on crust,
That's different. No, I get what you're saying. That's physics related. Okay. So I'm talking about a straight up fold in half slice. Like, I'm not into that at all.
No, I think the fold ruins the dynamics of the flavor.
I agree, man. I think it does too.
You're turning it into like a stromboli, you know?
Well, you are very much turning it into a stromboli or a calzone. Yeah.
I'll finish a slice folded sometimes.
It bothers me when people do it. It sets off my OCD inside. I'm like, you're doing it wrong. Oh no, that poor pizza.
Is it like the people that have problems with other people slurping their soup? Is it that kind of a thing, like a tick?
It's something akin to that. Yeah, it's totally irrational, and I will admit it. And I'm giving people a window into the inner workings of my insane mind. But
Of your Jarhegian brain, yes.
Of the Higatron 5000?
I'm
yes.
with Jarhigo. It bugs me, and I know it's not my place to tell people how to eat pizza, but I find it obnoxious, and I don't know why.
I think I do occasionally end up folding, but normally I don't. It's just kind of one of those whatevers, you know.
Little kind of a V cup. A V cup is different, though. I mean, you're basically doing that to get halfway down the slice where it has more structural integrity.
But I have, on occasion, gone halfway down and then turned it into a fold. So, like, I probably disappointed you at some point, but it's not a constant thing. It's just that everyone, you know, whatever. I don't pay close attention, I guess.
It's not your problem. It's my problem, and I have to keep that in check.
Exactly.
A pizza folding problem. All right, my second nugget is a business idea that I had someone want to invest in, but was not interested in opening a pizza place. But I wanted to open a pizza place called 179 Degrees of Pizza, and the pizza was sold by the degree of the angle, so you could buy however many degrees you wanted, because sometimes you go and buy pizza by the slice, and the slices are too small, and sometimes they're too big. And so, like, you'd have a cutting board on the table with, like, a circle, and so any jackass could cut the right angle. And then anytime you're left with a couple or 2-3 degrees, you'd hand them over the counter as free samples. And I thought it was an interesting idea for a mom-and-pop style gimmicky chain.
That's an interesting gimmick, yeah.
Interesting. So you have like a protractor and
Yes, a protractor is exactly what I thought of, Ben.
Yeah, you just have you'd have a wooden cutting board with the circle with all the numbers on it, so any jackass could cut it. But sometimes I was so disappointed when you buy a slice and you pay however many, $2 or $3 or whatever, and it comes out and it's like the skinniest piece of shit slice ever. And other times you go to a place and buy a slice and it's like a fucking 2/3 of a pizza, like huge slices. So the inconsistency of the slice was what birthed that silly idea.
yeah, it's especially pernicious when the dude ahead of you gets the giant slice and then you get the shitty little slice and you're like, what? No, man, no, give me another one, or can I trade this back in? Like,
Uncool. Very uncool. I'm not into that.
I don't know. I'm obviously only speaking about Western Australia, but I couldn't tell you if of any single place where you can buy a slice of pizza. You can't buy slices here.
It has to be a whole pie.
Yeah, it has to be a pie, which it frustrates the fuck out of me. Buying slices is just such a quintessential part of the American pizza experience. Like,
I agree with you, man. I mean, it's certainly for me. I grew up eating tons of New York pizza, by the slice, man.
yeah,
So I'm with you on that. I will say that New Haven style, you cannot get slices of.
Which is fine.
It comes whole pie only. Yeah, I get it. But I mean, whatever. It's an experience. Whatever. I totally get that.
And then, the places that are by the slice, sometimes if you get the actual pie, it's going to be better because it hasn't been sitting in the thing or whatever. Like, there's a whole nother topic to be discussed there, but
strangely, sometimes the slice is better.
Sometimes.
Strangely, yes.
Which is weird. It shouldn't, but it is.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
I am with you too. I think. All right. So, are you done with your nuggets, Chad?
That's my nuggets, man.
What do we have for deaths?
I don't know if they'll make it into the show or not, but you had 2 ejections where you fucking ended up in orbit.
Definitely. Yes, talking about Riddick and Carl
Mulvaney
Urban.
fleas or whatever they were.
Mulbarian fleas. No, Malvarian mud fleas, I think it was.
Mulvarian mud fleas, yeah.
They're extra good. You get them extra crispy on that pie. They're delicious.
Good stuff.
Okay, so I had those 2. What else?
I propose, though, if you guys are willing, that in lieu of ratings, I propose that you name your favorite pizza in the world.
Oof, that's tough. I don't know.
I can't do
Jesus.
that.
That is really hard.
I can't do that.
Really? You can't just name a place? It doesn't need to be like, oh, maybe instead of naming your favorite place, like name a place that people need to go.
All right, I'll say this. I will say to all the people in the world listening to this show, if you have an opportunity to try Greek pizza, absolutely do it. If you don't live in the States and you make it over the States, obviously check out New York pizza, but check out the New Haven pizza. And if you live in the Northeast and you've never had New Haven pizza, go check it out. It is not called pizza. As Ben said before, it is called Apizza, and it's spelled Apizza, which is an interesting little tidbit.
It's pretty random. I'm very curious. I've never had it before.
And now the other thing, too, that we didn't really get to talk about, I just want to quickly mention it, is that I do not eat bread anymore. I stopped eating gluten quite a while ago. So I have not had pizza in a long time, but I have found frozen cauliflower crust pizzas that are the closest thing that I can get to pizza. Now, it's definitely not the same thing. They're super thin, but I got to say I'm impressed with the amount of effort that was put in to making a gluten-free option into a pizza. It's really not terrible. And I eat them all the time. They're great.
Interesting. What was the name of the place that you mentioned, Benny?
Hank's in Brooklyn, Connecticut.
A cheese to the edges cast iron pizza.
Yeah, or I suspect it's cast iron. I have no idea, but yeah, they're very secretive about all of it.
And for me, I will say again what I mentioned earlier. My grandfather took me to Pizzeria Regina's in Boston in the North End after a Boston Red Sox game at Fenway, and it is the best pizza I've ever eaten in my life, and I would very, very highly recommend it. There are multiple locations, but I think that the one in the North End is the original, and it is fucking phenomenal pizza.
I will say that I've eaten at numerous Greek places around Connecticut, and there are so many good pizza places around here. Like, it's almost like each town has like 10 of them, and they're all competing, and they're all really good. So it's really, really hard to nail down any one. You wouldn't think it, but you can go virtually anywhere in Connecticut, certainly up and down the coast, and you can find pizza places everywhere that are solid.
I suppose it would be worth bringing up the Barstool pizza review stuff on YouTube, not necessarily to dive into it so much as to say that they created an app called One Bite that's like community ratings and then the Dave Portnoy ratings, it's like an amazing resource for good pizza.
Definitely.
So you can like jump on it and see pizza places in your area, and it'll have like a community average of ratings and stuff. So it's like a very specialty app that would probably have some good viewpoints on some of those pizzerias you're talking about.
Very cool. And that's another cool show that the folks at home should check out.
It's ridiculous. The guy's a complete douchebag, but I got sick one day, and you know how sometimes when you get the flu, you just like lay in your bed sideways and watch movies or whatever. Like, I watched 4.5 hours of that, like, just nonstop. I was so sick, and it was amazing, and I was like so stoked on pizza after that.
Reason? Because it was there.
That's it.
There you go, folks. Okay, no ratings this time. So what are we talking about next week?
Next week, we are trying something a little different with movies, where we're going in cold. We're not watching the movies before discussing them. And we're going to be talking about the 3 Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies.
Yes.
Which should be interesting.
Yes, that will be interesting for sure.
Less of a play-by-play and more of a, like, you know, how they kind of change the way movies are made. And
tender feelings, yes.
Yeah, and then, like, you know, them being kind of a legendary series of books, etc., etc.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I really enjoyed this talking about pizza. I got very passionate about it at times, and then I really enjoyed the action hero pizza thing as well. It was fun.
Yeah, we had to cool you off with the action hero stuff.
Cool me off.
You're, like you said, you're all passionate about it. It was quite...
You're right. We had to kind of hose me down, yeah. Throw me in a cold shower. Anyway... a couple things, as we've said before, check out the Rolling Stones' new single, Once Upon a Time in Hip Hop. You can find it on Bandcamp. They're at Rolling Stones. on Instagram. If you want to join in the conversations, folks, please do. We're on Instagram at EBD Podcast. And the three of us are always on there, or at least one of us is, chatting about whatever nerdy nonsense we're going on about. So please join in the conversation, post something, start the conversation. Either way, we don't care. If you like the show and you'd like to support it, please go and give us a review somewhere. I cannot tell you how important those written reviews are to the show. Rate us 5 stars. We would love it. We know that a lot of you guys love the show, so if you can swing over to Apple, Stitcher, whatever, Spotify, rate the show, leave us a little, even a short worded review would be fantastic, and we would be super appreciative as we are trying to grow the show, and that helps us greatly. So there you have it. Also, telling people to check out the show. I know a lot of you out there have done that or said that you've done that, and we certainly appreciate that too. We can't thank you enough. So thank you so much. The show notes for this episode you can find in your podcast app of choice, or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/66. The best place to find us is on Instagram at EBD Podcast. You can find us at the same handle on most social medias, definitely Facebook. We always mention our Twitter handles, even though we're not really on Twitter, so I'm not going to bother this time. Okay, Chad's on Twitter, so you can find Chad at Chad Normal on Twitter. You can ask us questions or make show requests using the Twitter hashtag AskEBD. You can also contact us or make requests using our email, contact@ebd.fm. Thanks so much for joining us for this wild card episode about pizza. Please join us next week as we do another something a little bit different, going in cold, talking about Lord of the Rings. And we'll see you on another time.